Good morning. So I'm Ajay. I would be talking a little bit about computational tools for rhythm analysis. I would probably answer some of your questions. Compared to a lot of other tasks that we've been looking at, this is relatively mostly work in progress, most of what we present here. And these tools could be used for a better understanding of rhythm. So first of all, I should thank Akshay, Vinuta and Vignesh for their inputs into this presentation. And this talk is even, is structured similar to the way Sankalp talk was, and then to draw a parallel between melody and rhythm at every aspect, and then we can see which of the tools would be useful for mainly listeners and music lovers. So when we say computational rhythm analysis for us engineers, rhythm is musical events in time that actually group into patterns. So we would want to estimate both the structure, which is how the events are progressing, and the patterns that arise out of that. And the computational tools which we develop are mainly to understand these temporal aspects of music. So these are the tasks which I'll talk about in this presentation. Mainly onset detection, which is the most basic task in rhythm analysis, followed by tracking the events of the thala and segmenting audio rhythmic based on rhythm information. And so the other two tasks, for example, rhythmic pattern extraction and rhythmic similarity, these are the tasks which we have still not started working on, but we will immediately start working on them. They are the most important tasks as far as we are concerned, and I've listed them in a specific order of being simple to more complex tasks. So let's first start with onset detection. So onset detection actually refers to getting the onsets of different instruments in the audio, and there are many sources which give rise to onsets. For example, as I said, different percussion instruments can give us onsets, and they have different spectral characteristics, and that is what we will explore and then use in estimating. So as we are familiar with this representation of audio, this is the waveform, and here we have the spectrogram, except that there is a small little change here. I've just enlarged the low frequencies so that we can very clearly see the percussion onsets. So when we say onsets in this talk, let me focus a little bit more on the mridangam onsets, wherein we want to extract both the right onsets from the right drum and the left topi, both of them. So here we can very clearly see these are the onsets that are from the right of the mridangam, and these are the onsets that are from the left. You can see a little modulation here as well on the topi. So since they have different spectral characteristics, depending on which part of the spectrum we look at, we can extract onsets from different instruments. So if there is a tevil, for example, I'll show an example which has tevil, it would have a set of onsets which are slightly different from the onsets on the right. So before we actually can do more processing, it is good to in fact suppress the melody in the audio. So this is counterintuitive. This is what we do here is to use the melody that has been extracted, that Sankalp showed, the melody line, and then synthesize the melody and then subtract it from the audio, so that we get a melody suppressed version of audio. I would in fact have to put a disclaimer here saying that this is not for listening, but it's only for the algorithms to actually process the onsets better. So I'll play this example first. So that's the original audio. This is the melody suppressed. This doesn't sound musical at all, but I can use this by the onset detection algorithm works better for this. So we see that the mridangam has been enhanced, whereas the melody has been suppressed. So once we have this, the next tool which we can discuss is the onset detection tool, which gives us only the onsets from the right of the mridangam. So notice that this audio has tevil at the background, and then some of the onsets are confused for tevil as well. And this is one problem which we are working on, to actually separate out and then get only the mridangam onsets or only the tevil onsets as might be necessary. So this is a video, and I have put a marker at the places where the onsets were found by the algorithm, and I also put an audible click so that you can listen to it and then say the onsets were on the exact place where we wanted it. So once we have the right onsets, we would also be interested in the onsets from the topi, because they are very important cues to some tala structure, because they have an important role. These are the onsets from the left. So here we can see most of the onsets. This is in red, it's not a very good color here, but these are the onsets on the left, and then we can see an onset detected at that place. So once we have the onsets from the mridangam or instrument of our choice, what we can do is to move on to more musically relevant structures, which is what is our second tool, which helps us to do tracking the tala. So but before we can actually track the tala, we would need to identify which is the tala that the piece is set in. This problem, we can make use of many sources to get the information about the tala. We could just look up in the CD, or we could estimate it. And this problem is very relevant, but then this is not our prime focus in comp music, because our premise is that tracking the events of the tala will eventually give us the structure of the tala automatically, and then we would want to use that information, and then use tala recognition can be done at a later point in time, but we want to start with knowing the tala and then tracking the events of the tala in the music piece. So we'll first start from that. Let me formally define the task. Tala tracking refers to tracking the events in the tala cycle, and they can be musically very well defined, such as the akshara, the beats, the sama, and if necessary also estimate the edupu in the composition, which gives us the offset from the sama of the tala to the composition where it starts. So, and we are doing supervised tala tracking here, in which means that we already know which tala it is in, and then we are tracking the events in the tala. Here is a representation of Adi Tala, similar to the one you saw in Dunya. The smallest time unit here is the Akshara, whereas this has 3 angas, as we know, 1 lagu and 2 drutams, and then this is the whole avartana, and the sama is marked with an X, and the sama of the next cycle is marked here. So we would mainly focus on, let's go from starting to estimate the Aksharas all the way till samas. So to estimate the akshara, first we need to estimate the period of the akshara. To estimate the period of the akshara, we use the periodicity in the onsets. As we saw, some of these onsets were really periodic, and this can be used to estimate the period in the akshara with some prior knowledge about the akshara period. So the akshara period that we are looking at is in a specific range, and then we can use that information and use the onsets to get the period of the akshara. And this has been incorporated into Dunya. You can see this in the Dunya rhythm pane. So what you saw in Dunya rhythm pane should have been this, in fact, which actually tracks the aksharas, and this is a good example in which the aksharas have been tracked fairly reliably. Let me play this, and as always, I put a click at the place where the aksharas are located. There are some errors in this as well, but for most part of it, it's regular. But then the main question that we now ask is, given these aksharas, where exactly is the sama in this? So this is the representation we have, and then so we need to find the sama in this. So which is not a very easy task. So getting the sama from this is not at all an easy task. So what we need to do for that is to have a model, a computational model for the characteristics of Sama in this spectrum. And that's not sufficient enough, but we need to actually provide it more knowledge based music information and also provide it with the structure of the Tala, and we need a model for that. This model is a computational model with which the computer can understand what exactly is the structure that it is trying to track in the audio. And both of these tasks have to be learned based on examples, mainly by the machine, and for which we need an audio collection with expert annotations. So this is one of the reasons why we have set up a listening survey here, in which we are collecting tapping responses from listeners and musicians, and then we'll use them to develop better algorithms. They are the examples with which we'll train our systems. So learning the Sama is a very hard task. It's not solved yet. We have just started working on them. But then we can actually look ahead and then say how it would look like in dunya if we have such a tool which will track us the Tala for us. It would actually typically go in the rhythm pane here, and this is Mr. Chapu, and I've shown the beats 1, 4 and 6, which are the most important beats in Mr. Chapu. Let me actually play a video. This is a mock-up. This is the goal for us, and this is where we want to get, and these annotations were manually done, and I've numbered all the beats. This is in Aditala, but then 2 kalai, so I've marked it from 1 all the way till 16. 1 represents the Sama, and the rest of the beats are numbered. And when you listen to this, the Sama also has a different click compared to the rest of the beats. So let's listen to this. This is by Chiti Babu. So that is where we eventually want to get. If you notice that that composition also had a non-zero Edupu, and then that was captured as well. And this is the other goal. In this is an example in Khanda Chapu, for example. And this has the same characteristics. The Sama has a different click. So our main hypothesis is, with this information about with the Tala, it leads to a better enriched listening. Though the clicks are not necessary, the markers would help us to track the Tala, and then it would be better for us to listen. So once we have the Tala and the Tala tracked, we can immediately start defining some rhythm similarity measures based just on the Tala and its components. So this has to be mainly done based on listeners' feedback. So we would typically identify different Tala components, such as, say, okay, Nade might be important, or the Tala might be important, the tempo might be important, to define similarity between 2 music pieces. And then based on that, we compute some similarity measures. Then we ask them as the users, as the listeners, and based on their inputs and then based on their feedback, we try to identify different Tala components and then compute the similarity measures. This goes in a cycle until we have fairly reliable rhythm similarity measures. So this is another system that we are working on, and then this is the way we would eventually develop most of the similarity measures. So the next important task is audio segmentation, and segmentation is a rhythm related task, because it can be done mainly based on rhythmic structure. Segmentation refers to marking out different regions in audio with a musically relevant label, and it could be done at multiple different time scales. For example, a whole concert could be segmented into the corresponding kritis and the pieces that were performed. An example of this has been developed at IIT Madras, and you can, if you are interested, we can show you a demo of this. It's based on applauses that occur between the 2 pieces, and the whole concert can be segmented into kritis, and there's a Taniyavartanam here, and then it could be segmented into different parts. The next time scale where we could do segmentation is at the level of a kriti, wherein a kriti could be segmented into Pallavi, Anupallavi, Charanam and its components which are present in the kriti. This is a problem which we have not worked on, but then so the technology is present to actually look at this, which can be seen here in fact. So this is a representation which is called a rhythmogram. This captures the rhythmic structure of the piece of music. This axis here is the time, and this axis here represents periodicity. And the lines that you see here, the white lines, they give us what is the exact periodicity that we observe. And this has been computed on mainly on the percussion, and this actually, so in which case it captures percussive periodicity. So we can very distinctly see that there are regions which I can mark out, and in fact this example was from an RTP, and we could mark out the different regions of the audio, or we could segment it into different parts using this representation of audio. And so the Kalpanaswaram has some structure, Taniyavartanam has a lot of structure, whereas Ragam has very less percussive periodicity as we can see here. Here is a more concrete example wherein it is a percussion solo of a tabla, and we can see very distinct periodicities here. These are the parts that are slow, and then periodicity with a larger period, and these are the ones with has a periodicity with a smaller period. And if we actually put the labels, they are the slow and fast regions which were played in an improvisation on a tabla. So now if we have a segmentation at this level, we can actually look ahead and then also move into a segmentation which is at much fine grain, which brings us to Taniyavartanam transcription, wherein given a Taniyavartanam, we would want to transcribe it into its constituent strokes of the mridangam or the other instruments that are played in the Taniyavartanam. For this, we again take a machine learning based approach based on examples, wherein we provide the computer with an example, with set of examples for each of the strokes. I've shown 3 different strokes here, Dhim, Ta and Tom. And also we also give it the stroke sequences, because most of the information is also in the sequences, not just the stroke timbre. And a machine learning algorithm would learn both of these and then provide us with models, stroke models, which given a new Taniyavartanam recording would give us a set of transcribed strokes. As an example to this, let's listen to this. This is an example wherein a small part of a Taniyavartanam has been expanded here. It has about 7 strokes, and then let's listen to this. So these set of strokes have been transcribed, and then we can see that the boundaries of the strokes have been accurately marked. And then this is a work by Akshay, and then this was again in a Tani which was played in a very controlled condition. We are now extending it to real world concert recordings, and so this is our next focus, and then so there will be some more work which will be done on this. And this is a tool which can be used to transcribe Taniyavartanam. So that finally that brings us to the final topic of in rhythm today. So this is a topic which we have not started working on, but I would still want to speculate and then look at what are the problems that might be interesting here. So most of what I will discuss here are speculative, and we don't have any research basis for them. It's just a discussion based on all of our researchers, and then to look at what might be interesting here. So the primary task is there could be rhythmic patterns anywhere in the music piece. So this is a particular example. This is a short muktaya that's played at the end of a pallavi or a charanam. This is another pattern, and this is a this could be at the beginning of a Taniyavartanam. Not just on the mridangam, we could also have rhythmic patterns in vocal singing. So these are the different kinds of patterns, but then all of them are very different, and then we need to abstract them to a representation. For example, this is a representation which I exactly do not know how to do this, whereas we have all this set of patterns. We need to abstract them to a set of representations which can be used for the actual task of searching for them in the database or for defining similarity. So we have all these patterns, and then if we want to connect them and then say which ones are similar to which, we need such a representation. I would want to show an example, a query which we think is very interesting for us when it comes to defining rhythmic similarity. So this is from Nine Namiti by Gayatri Girish, and so this is a Korvai, and let's first listen to this. And it continues. This is a Korvai in the which was played. So Akshay actually pored over our collection and then found another instance of the same Korvai here. I'll play that as well. And he also found a variant of that, which is presented here. This is a variant of the previous Korvai that you heard. So this is a very interesting query. We started out with a Korvai, a very long Korvai in fact. This is a very long rhythmic pattern, and we manually found two examples, one which was very similar to that, one which was not very similar but it's a small variant. Now is the most important question that we have, which we don't know the answer for. One is, how do we, given this, how do we query this and then extract this? This was done manually. How do we automatically do this? And once we have done that, so we found two examples. Now how do we say which of them is, and how do we define a distance measure, so to say, between this record, this part and this part, so that given 10 instances of these different played at different parts of the in our database, how do we rank order them in a specific order so that we can say, okay, this is more similar to this than to this. So what is it, how do we exactly define this rhythm similarity measure? So these are some of the open questions which we aim to address in the next 1 year, but we still think this tool is a very important tool which is very interesting for most of the music lovers here. So thanks for listening. So that is what I would want to conclude with, but there's something else also I want to make a mention. So as we saw, most of these approaches are relying on examples, and then the examples need to be annotated to the event that we are actually looking at. And so we have designed a Carnatic music beat station wherein we are collecting tapping responses for a set of Carnatic music pieces, short excerpts, and they will be used for different research problems on which we have been working on. So it would be really helpful for us if you could take up this test. It is set up in CS26, and then it takes about 15 minutes of your time, and then it's really helpful if you could take this test. Thanks for your attention. Thank you.